What's up, everybody? Look, I got to make a statement. I just woke up. It's right now. It's 8:21 Central European time, and I woke up to the news with the Joe Cronin show, a show that's really been instrumental in building subs over here, creating a fan base. It's no secret that I'm very much connected to that show. And I just want to let everybody know that I am every bit as disappointed and upset with the current state of affairs and things of that nature due to his channel being suspended, as most of you are. I've basically built this tiny channel without, it's reasonable to say, I'm not even embarrassed to say, to be perfectly honest with you, on the back of Joe, due to his kindness and what he taught me. I'd actually been broadcasting a year, uploading podcasts to YouTube with no video, no nothing, because I simply didn't know what I was doing. And then we used Joe's, which I'm probably going to end up uploading pretty soon. I think I'll make that my little project for today. We used a Joe's rant on the Boston Bruins, and then we really hit it off. And actually, shortly after that, the terrible terrorist incident happened in Boston, and then we started talking, and then it grew. And then that summer, the SummerSlam that summer, his show just exploded. And it has been one hell of a ride for somebody who's been in the background and kind of watched it grow. And we also got another show from it called Monetize This, where I probably got most of my exposure to the Joe Cronin fan base. So I'm proud to have been a part of the show. I know it's a controversial show. I know things are said on the show that doesn't really go over well with mainstream America, but I mean, that's what I thought YouTube was for. Certainly somebody like me is never going to be on XM radio or it's certainly not mainstream or terrestrial or even a terrestrial TV show. And to tell you the truth, me personally, I wouldn't want it. It's too many rules to follow. Too much pressure. I'd rather just sit home and create. I'm pretty devastated right now. I guess at first I was just, all right, it happened again. We're not going to be able to go live for a couple months. We'll switch channels. But I do believe Joe's statement, and I was somewhat aware of frustration with other things, and this just caps it off. And all I can say to Joe's fan base, and especially the people that helped make this channel, Joe's fans helped make this channel 500 subs, which I'm really super proud of. To hang tight and share information. If anybody out there can tell me what we have to do to get Google's attention, I'm all ears. I'm sort of an apprentice at his. I don't know how to start a big or generate a big controversy on the net. I've seen people try to do that before, and it sort of failed. I'm certainly not a social media expert by any means. But they say every tweet helps and what have you. That might be true, but a controlled effort to bring attention to this situation would probably be more effective. So I'm all ears. I'm absolutely all ears. I'd like to know what we can do. Now, what is the controversy? The controversy is this. Joe received a suspension notice based on a misleading tag on his SummerSlam video. It's not the first time it happened. In the tag, or in the title, it says full Raw review, which is exactly what is the contents in exactly the contents that is in the video. Full Raw review. They review Raw. Some folks click on it and they feel misled. But they're not misled if they very simply read the title. Now, there's another complaint that you might hear. You might hear something to the effect of, the thumbnail. The thumbnail has wrestlers in it. For those who don't know, after, or at least when I started, YouTube videos don't take a snapshot of the video and then post it as a thumbnail. YouTube allows creators to post what type of thumbnail they want. So it doesn't necessarily have to do anything with the video. If YouTube was so concerned, or Google was so concerned with being misleading, they would have disabled this option. Joe does a wrestling show. It makes a certain amount of sense that if YouTube gave him this option, that he would upload a picture of a wrestler. After all, it's a full Raw review. Now, what if that's copyrighted? Well, here's the other trick. If you go through Google, go to images, you can look up certain images that are allowed to be modified or used or reused of sort of a public domain. So there's nothing wrong with putting images in there. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, YouTube really doesn't check what images you're using. They're more concerned about video. So that's simply what we have going on here. I'm certainly going to support Joe any way I can going forward, whether his decision is to take a break, bag it all together, or start something new. He absolutely has my support 100%. I flew out to Boston 4 weeks ago, to meet him, and it was really special, and we spent a great day with our families in Salem, Massachusetts. The whole thing was like totally surreal, just being these sort of internet buddies, and then being in the house watching Raw, drinking beers with people that are basically voices in my headphones. It was very, very special. Again, I'm no expert in the social media thing. I like hockey. I like talking about it. I want a wacky hockey show. I like going on Joe's show and doing a wacky radio broadcast, monetize this. That's what I like to do in my spare time. If you, the listener, know how we can get attention, maybe you know more about social media than I do. I got guys recommending this. I got guys sending me graphics that they think I should use. Tell us the best way you think we could go about this. Because basically what YouTube does is if you get flags from other YouTubers or YouTube, I don't even call them YouTubers, they're users. You don't there's a lot more people on YouTube that are criticizing content and doing nothing and not able to produce content, not even be able to hold one viewer live, much less anywhere from 50 to 100 like Joe does, because they can't talk and they have no talent. So what they can do if they don't like, you can do this too. You can dislike this video and you can claim there's some kind of copyright violation, and the robot gets it and then sends the automatic message and You Can't Boss Live for 6 months. Last year when this happened, it was basically right just before WrestleMania. So we basically got up just before WrestleMania. Now you don't say, well, we'll switch channels. Let's keep the show going or what have you. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that you could do that. But it gets frustrating. He made a statement in the video that's like, it's like a job. It is. Even at my small 500 subs, I think about the channel often. I want to bring the best thing possible. I don't got a support team. I basically have my small crew. I don't have a human resource section in that. And I know how hard he works at it, and I know how hard he works at other entrepreneurial things. None of us are rich. Joe has a job. When I met him, he had more than one. And he has a family. And he has a fan base that he built. I just started my job. I'm washing dishes in a foreign country. And I hope that leads to something. But I guess the theme of this video is, what do you recommend we do? How do we go about this? Because I don't know. And I'm bummed out. When I wake up on Sundays, I usually catch the end of the Cronin show, or if for some reason I can't sleep or don't have to be somewhere, then I jump on and try to make people laugh. I know I've heard countless times that people really enjoy my participation with his, and it makes you feel like a little celebrity. And I don't want it to go away. And that's basically it. I have no fear of my friendships going away. I have no fear of this channel, but it does make you think. If you work hard enough, that somebody's going to clip. There's going to be an organized attempt to clip your legs, or the robot will coldly take your work away, your passion away, and in some cases, your income. I don't make any scratch from shopping the point. I would love to. That'd be great. But I don't need to keep it going, because that's how driven I am. I know Joe made a little scratch from his channel. And with 2 children and family, even if it's $100, it helps. Most people don't have to work that hard for $100. And if you think it's just going on and turning on your mic, you'd be wrong. You'd be wrong. It's trial and error. It's doing things. It's working with other people. I think one of the reasons that my channel's got a little bigger is I've learned how to network better, and now I have a team. And everybody puts in a little bit. I do the technical stuff. I try to make the sound quality as good as humanly possible based on, well, budget's a bad word, but the equipment I have. And I'd like to increase that one day. That would be great. But it does get frustrating when me and Joe and I take, we say controversial things that would not be heard on mainstream radio, not heard on mainstream television. I wonder if that gets people's attention, or I wonder if it's just other more established shows making sure that they're still well established and have no competition. Because the Google content checker or whatever the hell it is, and make sure you're not doing copyright. This robot that he speaks of, which was exactly, the robot's a sociopath. It don't consider any of this. It doesn't consider the work. It doesn't consider the time. It doesn't consider all those things. Now, look, I'm not under any delusion that, look, YouTube's not mine. It's not my property. It's their rules. But the problem is YouTube's so big, the second biggest search engine in the rules, or the second biggest search engine on the planet. It's probably difficult to enforce any rules. Also, there's certainly no tech support. They probably couldn't even afford, or the amount of money they would have to spend on tech support alone for complaints like these. It's just sort of this wild west. And then, if the sheriff can't really get control of what's, he just comes and shoots the guy in the back. There's no judge, jury, and executioner. That's the way Google works. Now it's private. So, it is what it is. And I realize that it's better than nothing. But that doesn't change the disappointment, the anger, the frustration that I feel when something like this happens so unfairly. The video is titled correctly, yet it's been called misleading. Full, raw review. We've been through this before. Probably around this time last year, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Full, raw review. Had this not happened, I think we would have had 20,000 subs on the Cronin channel. Nipping at the big boys' heels. And there's some suggestion right now that's the case. I got no idea. And I'm certainly not going to name anybody or point fingers because I don't know. Could it be true? Sure. Will we ever find out? Probably not. Not unless anybody that was a part of that effort, if it existed, speaks out and says they were a part of that or they can show evidence of it. So you're basically going to have to snitch. And if you did snitch, then you'd be doing the right thing in this situation. I'm not one for snitching on your neighbor and what have you, for burning leaves in the backyard. But if you knew what it meant to him, to his team, to his fans, and you understood the work that goes into this, you might want to let somebody know, whether you find him entertaining, you like him, have strong opinions, like, look, there's something going on here. And it's not right. It's not right. If that be the case. And I don't know if it is the case. In fact, I ain't got a clue. It looks like I can't believe, I don't know how, but I can read the, I can read some of the statements for some reason. In Germany, they usually block this. Devil's a holic. If Joe wants to continue, tell him to do a live hangout Monday Night Raw. He can run it, do whatever he wants, rename the title. I rarely even use my channel anymore. It's really nice. Yeah, we've had a lot of people come up and say that they donate their channel. I know Dave Christozovich actually got involved with their sort of admin chat that we have. That's really nice. I thought the thumbnail was the issue. I don't know that because the statement, this is John Roberts, I thought that the statement itself didn't just had said misleading tags, thumbnails, or titles. So this is not, if you're thinking this is an issue with a copyright issue with the WWE, you'd be mistaken. From my understanding, John. Stoner Troy. Google, I could say it. Google can suck my dick for doing that. I love Joe Monday nights and Wednesday nights. From now on, what am I going to do on those nights? Well, I think we all got to let Joe sleep a little bit. We got to let him sleep on it and decide what we want. It's just one of these things you get. You go to sleep. You go to sleep, and then you find out what you're playing. You take, look, if you get in a fist fight and you got a black eye and you get beat up, you go to bed, you heal up, you lick your wounds, and you get back up. We got to see where we're at. We get back up. Devil's Holic said, I have 241 subs. It's still a good start. Yeah, it is. And like I said, that's extremely generous. But I'm not sure. I don't know how to explain this, bud. But when you work that hard, I don't know. Like, I can't imagine going back to 100 or 70 subs. I can't imagine. I had 70 subs pretty much up until last summer or last November. I've gained a plus of 400 subs since last November. Most of it, strange enough, during the summer, and most of that had to do with Cronin shows and simulcasts and things of that nature. Tyler Wilson. I've never watched Joe Cronin's show, but I'm new to this channel. But I agree with you. As new to this channel, I've actually looked forward to watching episodes you upload. Well, thank you very much, Tyler. I really appreciate it. Joe, what he's done is he does a wrestling program, pro wrestling. He reviews Monday Night Raw and things of that nature. And he gets a lot of attention doing it. He really is connected with a lot of his fan base, especially me. I'm not as big a wrestling guy as I used to be, but I mean, he's actually got me back interested. I really enjoyed watching the Daniel Bryan run last year. I liked being a part of that. It was fun. I haven't felt that way about wrestling since really the early 2000s, late 1990s. John Roberts, could he do something on Ustream? If his subscribers are loyal, they'll follow him there. That is correct, but I think it has something to do. It has something to do with desire. You build something, someone else comes, knocks it down the first time. You build it back to come down the second time. It's tough to get back up. I mean, I look. It makes me wonder. Let's say I got 5,000, 10,000 subs. I've made so many enemies in the hockey community just by speaking my mind. Who's to keep this from happening? Now, admittedly, they're not YouTubers, but all you got to do is take one thing I said out of context. You could say it was homophobic, racist, or what have you, and certainly YouTube has a rule that there's no hate speech, which I would agree with. But there's a fine line between joking around, speaking your mind, and truly hate speech. But I mean, YouTube's not going to pay lawyers to defend you. YouTube is a great place for free speech, but it's like any place. It's the wrong people get in control or charge or willing to manipulate it. It becomes a bad place. Tyler Wilson, I really enjoyed the whole community of the people that the show was. Yeah, well, me too. Certainly, neither me, Joe, Denon, Dave, we can't reach out to people probably like we like to, but I can honestly say that every email, every tweet, give you an idea. Like, look, I can show my girlfriend. We've had a rough year or two over here. I had decided to stay here after because I had to leave the Army. My wife kind of skipped out on me, and it was like, go home, never see your kid again, or stay here and try to struggle. And me and my girlfriend, now my wife, are together and struggling. And I just got a job, and I just got another job offer on the side, and things are starting to look up. And I can sit there and show, look, people care. And it's just like, so at least like when I've been unemployed the last couple months, I could look and said, look, yeah, yeah, I cleaned the kitchen and then I entertained somebody, made them laugh. It's If it wasn't for the internet, I would never got an opportunity for like that. I'll just tell you, Devil's Hawk. I don't know what he's gonna do. He has several other channels, and that's all I can say. He has other options. I think it's not about pick. It's about whether it's wise to move on, and that's all I'll say about that. It's about whether it's wise to kind of move in a forward direction, or depending what he wants to do creatively. I mean, I suppose we could do something like monetize this. That's something I really enjoy. When I was a kid, I grew up listening to Don Imus, Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony, and I like wacky radio shows, and I think we do a great job on monetize this. It's funny as hell, and it's really the most hardcore of hardcore Joe Cronin fans. Yeah, we talk about wrestling and things like that, but it's not a wrestling show by any means. It's freeform, topical show that it's over the top and outrageous, and I'm damn proud of it. But that's it. I'm just blowing off steam. I'm blowing off steam because I think I needed to, and I think I'm done. And look, whatever happens, I support. I support. I support Joe no matter what he decides to do. Period. I got his back, and that's just how it's going to be. And I'll see you guys around, and appreciate you listening to me and kind of letting me blow some steam off. And I'll keep you updated, and we'll probably mention it again on In the Crease with Tommy C. Maybe towards the end of the show. We certainly got to. I got to watch some hockey games. I got to get updated. I got to take my notes for today. At 3 p.m. Excuse me, that's my time. 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. We'll do live In the Crease with Tommy C. And talk about the day's hockey events and what have you. I'm sure this is going to come out because I know Dave's pretty devastated too. So see you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your comments. And like that, the one commenter said, I'm really proud to be a part of this community, whether it be Joe Cronin, Shot from the Point, and just YouTube in general. And it warms my heart. I said this the other day, like I have a community now. I didn't even have a community before. I do have a community now. It's tiny, and it's going to grow because I work hard. But if it doesn't, for whatever reason, I'm really proud to have you, and I couldn't be more sincere. It's overwhelming when you hear people say, "You made my day. I laughed. I'm having a hard time right now, and this is getting me through." And it's real. So I got to tell you, it just simply means something. And we'll keep you updated. See you around.